Yo, it's Message, and you're watching Cloudy Conversations.
What's going on, everybody? It's your girl Big T, Cloudy Conversations, and we're back again with another episode. Today's guest is Message. We want to thank you for stopping by and having a conversation with us.
Oh yeah, it's been a long time coming.
Use your mic.
My bad. Hell yeah, it's been a long time coming.
For sure, for sure. So for the people who are new to you or not too familiar, tell them a little bit about yourself.
I go by the name Message. There's only one. I say I'm a multi-dimensional artist. I make different kind of music, hip-hop, R&B, just really talking about like my life, mental health, experiences in life, from the streets, all kind of stuff for real, but always trying to encourage people.
And that's one thing I liked about your music the most when I, of course, before I had to do my research, but when I actually had to get prepared for the interview, it was like from the time you started rapping up until now, it's like I see the growth in the artistry, but the message is still, no pun intended,
Yeah.
The message is still the same, which is a blessing. So let's take it back to the beginning. Where are you from?
I say I'm a New Yorker at heart,
Okay.
because my dad always told us, like, we not from here, So it's like I'm raised in York, Pennsylvania,
Okay.
but I got a lot of, like, just New York, like, aura
From
and,
you.
like, history always going back and forth. Like, my family originates from New York, so.
Did you guys visit back home a lot, or?
Yeah, he took us out there, you know what I mean? We went to different spots out there and whatnot.
What part of, sorry.
The Bronx.
The Bronx, okay, all right, that helped me understand. What type of New York nigga you is.
Yeah, I got family all over, though. Family in Queens,
Okay.
Family in Manhattan.
So what was life like in York?
Life in York, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy for real. It's way different now. Like, I feel like the city, just watching the city change. But for me, I grew up with, like, a lot of siblings.
Okay.
So I kind of grew up in, like, a lockdown. Like, my dad was super strict, But as I got older, it's like, now I get to come outside, But there's always a lot going on around me.
How many siblings was in the family?
I'm the youngest. I was the youngest, 22.
22 kids?
22, yeah.
I mean, damn. All right, how old is your dad?
My dad, he passed he's at 76 years old.
Okay, all right, rest in peace.
Appreciate that.
So, all right, I guess what I'm trying to figure out was like, he just had a lot of kids, or like just throughout his life, like when did he stop having kids, I would say? What age was his last kid born?
Well, I really got 28 siblings.
Oh, damn, all right.
So I was the youngest for about 17 years.
Okay, all right, damn. I mean, he picked a hell of a time to jump back in the game.
Yeah, and he
how old
a
were you
different
when he
type of
was
man.
born?
He always said his kids is his legacy, though. So he had kids as his legacy, you know what I mean?
Makes
So I
sense.
grew up in a house of like 16.
Like, so y'all all live together?
He took care of all his kids.
That was my next question, because my dad has like 15 plus kids, but I didn't grow up with all my siblings.
Yeah, it's a way different experience. When you
Like,
growing up, he had custody of all his kids.
Wow. So how does 16 people in the crib? Is it like, what was the 7 boys, 6 girls? Like, what's the numbers?
7 boys, 15 girls.
Damn.
But at the time, like that's like I said, 22 from when I was growing up until I was almost an adult. But I think it was 15 in the house, so it would have been all the boys in the house.
Okay.
And then the rest girls. So I guess it'd be about like 8 girls or so.
And
8 or
were
9.
you guys all close in age? Did y'all like share the same moms, or like?
We definitely weren't all close in age. It's just like all spanned out from my oldest sister is probably in her 50s.
Oh, okay, damn, yeah.
Yeah, but they was long gone by the
By the
time
time you
I
came
came
in.
around. So I want to say like sisters in their 30s or whatever was like still coming around. Because I grew up watching my nieces and nephews and stuff like that too. And I got like
Right.
40-something nieces and nephews.
Yeah, I'm about to say with the
So-
family.
Yeah.
Damn. What was your favorite thing about growing up in the house with that many people?
Just being exposed to mad different things. It was never a dull moment, I would say. Like,
Was your family, did your dad, the man, like you said, he had y'all like kind of enclosed? So did he have a certain structure set up for y'all? Like even though he had a lot of kids, you still wasn't able to just be young, wild, and free, or y'all was the turn house on the block?
It's like a duality thing, you know what I
Okay.
mean? So it's like when he around, everything was structured. When he not around,
We know what the fuck
we
want.
do what we want to do, you know?
Which is typically how it goes with parents. It just, I guess, the more kids you add to it, the more crazier that shit
Yeah,
gets.
my older siblings was watching us, so it's like,
I don't give a fuck.
yeah.
What's the craziest thing you remember doing, like when your dad wasn't around? Like,
Craziest thing I remember
or the
doing.
funnest, just one thing, like, dad's not here. Like, I'm taking advantage of this shit.
Man, I used to raid the cabinets.
You was on some big back shit.
I gotta get some food, you know. It's like anything in the cabinet, just making all kind of concoctions and whatnot inside the
Doing shit.
kitchen. You know, I'm a chemist.
No, that's crazy. You hear, that's like not even a typical experience for most people. Like a lot of black people have a lot of siblings. I don't want to say black people, but just for people who have like a lot of siblings, it's not too often that you actually grow up in the house with them all.
Yeah.
Unless you're like on a farm or some shit.
Yeah.
So just to have that experience is like
Like
damn,
the Duggars.
I'm like, I wonder what it would have been like to grow up with all my siblings in the crib. Like, nah, I don't think I'd have survived. Like,
It was a lot. It was like battle royale every
that's
day.
what I'm
I'd
saying.
say,
Like,
you know.
that's just way too many people. Like, boys and girls, shut the fuck up, everybody. Like,
Hell yeah.
all these different personalities. Like,
Talk
nah.
about overstimulation
At all times.
and then
I'm not-
grandkids too.
Damn, yeah, because then I keep forgetting, like, your siblings is old enough to have kids. It's probably like half your age at this point. So it's like, yeah, that's a lot. So, all right, well, next, because this was a question before I move a little bit forward. Seeing your dad have that many kids and still be active in their life, like, how did that impact you as a man yourself?
I mean, family was always the number one like value. I feel like my dad was big on values like integrity. You know what I mean? Like family, like accountability. You know what I mean? Like he always said, a man has his word. You know, all man has is his word for real. For real. You break that, then
You ain't got nothing.
you ain't got nothing exactly. So seeing him step up and raise like all his kids though and work. Like my dad was a hard worker. He was in a like local 520 union, you know what I mean, going through all kind of weathers, snow, sun, rain, whatever it was, you know, driving far, going out of state to work and take care of all of us, getting laid off, whatever, no matter what it was. You know, we had big Christmases. He always made sure, you know what I mean, we was taken care of. So I feel like I would never leave like my kid behind. I would never leave my family behind, you know what I mean? Hence why I got custody of my son now. Like,
You know, it's been like full circle moments.
yeah, for
Did
real.
you have a relationship with your mom and like that side of the family as well?
My mom?
Yeah.
Like my birth mom or like the woman who raised me?
Well, I didn't even know there was a difference, so elaborate on both.
So I'm gonna say my mom. Like, yeah, I have a relationship with my mom. You know, she's an angel. You know, she held the house down. I would say the house wouldn't have ran without her.
So
know?
she's been in your life since you can remember type shit.
Just like 3 years old. Yeah.
Okay.
My birth mom, I don't know. It's a little touchy. I don't really talk about her for real, because it's like I wasn't, you know what I mean? She wasn't I don't have a relationship with her like to be, you know, to consider her like my mom, but I know she gave birth to me. So
No, in hindsight, when you start looking at certain things, it's like you still experience love. Like you said, you have a woman who came into your life that provided you that motherly experience. So in the end, like, I feel like it don't really matter. Like,
Yeah.
Like, not fuck it, because like, yeah, we still thankful for who bring us into this world, but sometimes we realize our parents aren't necessarily people who help birth us type shit. So
exactly.
I definitely agree with that.
The good and the bad shape you. I'll say that. Like,
I like that. What about school? What was that like for you?
School is where I feel like I could be a whole different person. Like, so it's like you got a character at home and then you got a character at school. So I go to school and it's like,
Who was you at? Yeah, who were you at school?
now I get to show my like individual self, but at the same time I'm still walking in a lot of shadows. Still walking in a lot of shadows.
You're such a such brother.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was a good kid, I feel like, for the most part. It was like I didn't get caught doing everything I do, but it's like I had my mischievous moments.
Were you like academically good, or you just was in school like, I can do this shit, but I'm not really looking to...
Oh, nah, I was bright. I am bright. I ain't gonna say I was bright. I am bright. I was on distinguished honor roll.
That's
You know
what
what
I
I
wanna
mean?
know. Like, what type
I
of
could have
student
skipped
was
2
you?
grades, but like I didn't want to leave my friends behind and whatnot.
Damn.
I kind of, do I regret it? Yes and no. I don't know how I feel about it. Because it's like those people, you know what I mean? It's like when you're young, you think these people going to be with you forever. and no, they not. So
Probably don't talk to half them niggas now.
but nah, my reading level, I was on like I want to say like a high school. I was on a high school reading level in like elementary. I was on an 8th grade reading level in, as long as I can remember, I was on an 8th grade reading level, I think in like 1st or 2nd grade. They were saying and then I was on a high school reading level like by the time I got to like probably like 5th grade or something like that. And then by the time I got to middle school, they said I was like on a college reading level, yeah.
And were you just naturally smart, or you think like being around so many older siblings, just the environment really like fed you so much knowledge?
Both, you gifted, like the way your brain works.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely blessed, like just the way my mind works. I'm a sponge, so I soak up everything. And then
You had a lot to soak up.
I had a lot to soak up, exactly. But I had sisters. I had like a sister. Shout out to Adiata, you know what I mean? Adi, she always wanted to like just try to like push us, you know what I mean? So she'd be like trying to draw with us or like, teach us things and whatnot. That's just who she is, so.
That's important.
Yeah.
Do you? This might be a hard question, but it's all true since you got so many. Is there like a favorite sibling of the bunch? Like, that's just my dog. Everybody know it.
I don't want to say a favorite sibling, but everybody know my closest guy, is Roddy. Like,
See,
that's my evil twin,
I'm about to say, everybody got that one sibling. They can't be mad. Like, I love y'all all the same, but for some reason, like, me and this nigga, like...
It just naturally happened because they always said we look alike. Like, since I was a kid, they like, oh, you look just like Roddy. So, it was like, I just started looking up to him, and then he's a different character,
You say evil twin.
We like 10 years apart.
Damn.
Yeah.
And that's still a blessing, though, because, like, how old are you now? Like, what, 25?
27.
27, so 37, damn, yeah. That's a great age gap, I feel. I wish I had I got older siblings that age, but I didn't have, like, they giving me the game, like, they been out here type shit, like, oh, you such and such.
Yeah.
No, I was the older sibling, so it's like, because like most of my siblings come from my dad, and then I got 2 from my mom, so it's like I grew up in the house with my mom. I know my other siblings, but it wasn't like I'm their older sibling, and then y'all just happen to keep finding, oh, that's really your brother? Oh, that's really your sister?
That's crazy.
It's like, y'all just got the same last name? No, that's really my brother, bro. Like,
but you got the good, bad, and the ugly, because the first one always does. And, like, you got to set the example.
Well, I set a good example. Them niggas did not follow it. Like, my younger brother and sister, like, I love them to death, but they was turned. Like, it was always so funny because my dad's siblings, they just didn't believe it was my siblings because, like, you never really seen us together, or like my 2 sisters, we're like the same age for like 8 months out of the year, just like how it was, but we didn't grow up together. So like people who knew my sister, who knew my other sister, were like, wait, that's your sister? We're like, yes, bro, but y'all in the same grade, nigga. We know, like, we don't got the same moms type shit.
Yeah, then, don't bring it up. Don't try to make my dad look bad. Like
rocket science, bitch. Like, but then the people from my siblings from my mom, like I told you, they was young and turned, so I was a good kid on the road type shit. So whenever they would find out my siblings, they were like, that's not your brother and sister. I'm like, yes, it is. Like, what? I would have never put 2 and 2 together. Like,
yeah.
It's like, I know I'm just the oddball in every situation. Like, but no.
Parents gotta keep these family trees together though, because it gets spooky out here.
That's kind of probably part of the reason I don't have kids now, just because I didn't want to continue the cycle. Like, it just the cycle of like teenage pregnancy, absentee fathers, struggling with your kids, even though you love them to death. Like, I feel like people underestimate, like, yeah, love is very important, but being able to take care of that child is just as important because you're putting trauma in their life that they didn't fucking ask for. So
I say I was raised on, they say, was you raised on love or survival? I say both. Cause I had love.
Yeah, but it was like definitely survival.
I had a lot of survival. Like, I'm the youngest, like.
I know they loved me for sure, but nigga, like, it's funny because in this little networking group that I'm in, one of our first meetings, I was talking about, how in the black family they always talk about, like, to a kid, you're gonna be the one to change this shit. You're gonna be the one to change this shit. And I used to get mad as a kid because I used to always think, wait, I'm like 8, 9, 10 years old. You're grown. Why the fuck we gotta wait another 10, 12 years for me to get right, for us to change? Like, you mean we're gonna be broke till I can do this shit? This is a lot of pressure. Like, I don't wanna be the one, like. Being
8 thinking like that too is like, it just shows where your mindset.
Because I just didn't understand, like, wait, what do you mean? Why can't you do it now? What's holding you back?
Yeah.
Like, I'm pleased that you see this on my life, but like, bro, what's stopping you from helping us change? Like, that's a lot of pressure. Like,
because what we do, we as black people, we push like our traumas and burdens onto our kids and onto like the younger siblings. Like, we don't want the responsibility, so we gonna push it off onto somebody else. And then now, like, they had to feel that in somewhat, but now it's like, now you feel it even heavier because they're like, oh, you gotta do it because grandma didn't get to do it, because mom didn't get to do it,
So
because
you
your older
gotta
sister didn't get
like,
to
well,
do it.
fuck
It's
y'all.
like, hold up.
Like, hold on, that's a lot of generations that didn't get to do it that y'all putting on me.
I just want to be me. Like, I ain't trying to walk in your shoes. Who said I want? My dad used to tell me, oh, I'm gonna be a doctor. You think I wanted to be a doctor?
Who even gave you that thought, nigga?
You gonna go get your doctor's degree? You gonna be in school all these years? I used to look at him like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I can't be doing all this surgeries and. Yeah.
As a kid, did you know what you wanted to be?
Yeah.
What was it?
As a kid, I mean, I had two things I wanted to be as a kid. I wanted three things, I want to say. Secretly, I wanted to be an artist.
Okay.
Like, I wanted to be an artist. I knew, but it was like, it's a dream. And then it's like, dang, like, I don't know if I could. I wasn't confident enough to, like, show people what I could, like, really do. You know what I mean? So I would make, like, music behind the scenes and stuff, but I wasn't showing people.
Like, yeah, nah, I don't rap.
It's just my thing, you know? But I wanted to be an inventor. Like, I wanted to invent something. I knew that to make the world, like, a better place, like, okay, I can give, like, this invention to make things easier. And inventors got paid. Like, you come up with something that somebody don't have.
Life, right?
Yeah, that. And then I love video games. Like, I had passion for that, so I wanted to be a video game designer when I was a kid. And I still want to make a video game for real. I got some ideas.
Those are all good things to want to be because they're all, one, achievable. Not saying that every dream isn't, but, like, those are really, like, you could be a video game designer. Look at the world today. Like, so what changed over time to make those other ones follow? Because obviously the artist came to fruition.
Yeah.
So what happened with the other two?
The other two, I mean, the inventor thing, I ain't gonna lie. The inventor thing, you start thinking about it, you like, dang, like, I gotta rack my brain to come up with something that nobody came up with.
It's hard as fuck.
It's hard as fuck, yeah, like, and then it's just, I don't know, you know, that was like more of a kid dream.
Kid.
Like, I tried to build stuff, take things apart when I was a kid, like, kind of like that. So I ain't really put too much thought into it. The video game design, I actually went to school for computers, at first to tech, like York County School of Technology.
Okay.
I went there for, like, programming. And when I seen the programming,
He said, nah,
and I seen I got to sit in a chair for like 5 hours, like 6 hours, I'm like, well, hold up. I don't want to be confined to a desk. And if I got a future in computers, I got to be sitting here at a desk. I'm going to be lazy. I might end up fat. I might end up, and then it's the people, like, no shade against people, like, but, like, come on, we need more of my people, like, in these fields. Because, like, I went there and it's like, the boys, like, they ain't even had their first kiss yet. Like, they talking about, they talking, like, they nerds. Like, and I'm a nerd too, but I'm a different type of nerd. So, like, they talking about Steam and they talking about, like, the video games. We relate to the anime and everything. But, like, I'm still hood. So, like, I still listening to all the hot shit that's coming out, Meek Mill, Drake, everything. And I'm rapping these things and they looking at me crazy. I'm still coming with, like, braids and a fro.
They like, yo, who is this?
Who is this guy? So it was
how high for real, like.
I didn't have nobody of my demographic around me.
Which is hard.
And it was hard. So I was like, yeah, nah. The artistry, I just gained more confidence for real. Like, what happened? What changed for the artistry? So I started writing, if I want to go back, I started writing, like, songs. Like, writing more songs in, like, middle school. I wanted to write songs in middle school. I used to get up in front of the class and do, like, parodies, you know what I mean, for extra credit and whatnot, singing and whatnot.
Quick.
Yeah, so I still didn't have the confidence. I was scared as hell, but, like, I wanted the extra credit, or I had these moments of boldness. Okay. Like, it's like when you got something in you, it just comes out. Like,
you can't help but do that shit. Like,
my brother calls it starlight. He be like, you know, when the starlights is on, like, you're gonna shine, like, no matter what.
Like
yeah, so I came out and I would just do those things, but then, how do I want to word this? My brother, going back to my brother, he used to, like, always freestyle. Like, him and my other brother, they always freestyling and whatnot. And, like, I would see them, I'm like, dang, like, they nice with it. And I want to do it, but I ain't had the confidence. But he would push me. He'd be like, yo, nah, like, spit something. And kept telling me to spit something. And then I would be spitting something. And I was like, yo, that's kind of hard for off the top.
It's like, oh, shit, I might be nice for it.
Yeah. So then we started writing something together. Like, I would help him, like, write some things. And not saying I wrote for him, but, like, we'd just be writing songs together.
Like, we in the lab.
And then he'd be like, yo, but you know how to spit it. Because I would come up with the flow. Like, my delivery, I've always been strong with delivery, writing, and knowing where to put pauses and stuff like that. It just naturally came. So then I would spit his stuff, and then I started writing. And it was more so, like, I seen it as a way to get out the streets for real. So, like, I wanted to take it to that higher level. I'm like, yo, I gotta do something different. Like I could really do this. You know what I mean? I'm nice. People starting to like believe in me, and I just kept doing it for real. Like, I wanted to speak on things. I always wanted to speak on things. I had passion. I've always been somebody who like want to change the world. I feel like that's just something that's always been inside me for real. Looking up to people like Martin Luther King, and just like Rosa Parks, and seeing what Malcolm X did, like all these different,
black leaders.
Frederick Douglass, like I've always been into that type of stuff. So,
which is important, and I feel like is a key element missing in the black community today, is we don't have enough pockets of leaders who are willing to sacrifice for the greater good, and as the collective, we're not willing to follow the people who are leading us to the greater good, because that's what the biggest thing was back in the day. They knew, like, yeah, I'm probably gonna get my ass beat, I'm probably gonna lose this, I'm probably gonna lose that, but this is all for us to not have to, the next generation, my kids, not to have to deal with
exactly.
this. And we lost the pride and the understanding of like what it means to be unified and taking a loss in order to gain in the end, because that's really what the biggest thing. But it's not necessarily just our fault. We know systematic things been put in place.
Yeah.
Continuing to be at a disadvantage plays a lot into it. But I do think it's like a lot of lack of self-policing and accountability, to what you were saying early, especially in the men's department. There aren't many men who understand the value of their word, or holding themselves accountable, and not just out here being frivolous with themselves and creating broken families and shit like that. So they think it's like on a small scale, but that shit plays a part on the web that's like still going to continue to go and go and go, and we never going to break it unless enough of us start waking up and like, all right, bro, we really got to do this shit differently, because the blueprint's been set. Like, there's no way we made it from slavery like 100-something years ago to today, where we got black people who prevalent, like, we're doing a lot of stuff that they probably would have never thought we could do. If we would have stick to that, or revert to some of them mindsets, bro, imagine what the next chapter would look like.
But it's an agenda though. Like, we grow up, we seeing even the older people, like, I mean, LL Cool J, he was a sex symbol. Yeah. But like, you could tell he real smart. Like, you listen to the content of his music and whatnot, and he wasn't always just standing for that. So it's like he had a balance, but it starts with them. Like, the older, they wanted to like be womanizers and like push this message
all
of
shit that don't matter,
glorifying certain things in the community. But back then, if you look at like KRS-One and all them, like when hip hop started, they weren't talking about that type of stuff. No. It was an agenda. Then it's like you got down south changing things, like artists like Trina and like it's the dirty and all that.
And
crunk music.
Balance of both, but that's why it's like I see what you mean by that agenda, because it's like the conscious artists aren't pushed as heavy as the ass shaking, let's shoot the club, spin the bin, like.
It's what sells.
It's like, damn, bro. And I be feeling bad sometimes because I be listening to it, but it's like sometimes I do be turning some songs off. I'm like, bro, this is just too much. Like, damn, I understand a couple flip of pots, a scrape whipper, like, I can get with that, but now everybody's dying. Like, all this shit,
exactly. Like, I'm on Demon Time, I wake up, dude.
Every time I hear Demon, I'm like, I gotta change that.
I don't see how people just enjoy hearing about somebody like just killing all the time.
That's what I'm saying, like, bro.
It's not something that enjoyable.
That's traumatic. Like, somebody died and you caused it. Like, see, this is why we need to change up the culture and the understanding of what's really what. Because in every society, there's always going to be war, destruction. But I just feel like there's just way too much of it in our community, and we're all in close like any city, the black people are in the hub the same way they do like with the Spanish communities. Like, they put you in categories. Bro, we too close together just for us to be killing each other all crazy. Like, it don't make sense statistically or logically, but
not at all. But if you look at like Kanye, like, you know what I mean? I feel like Kanye came in the game. He changed the game as far as like his subject matter, stuff like that. Common.
Who would have thought Kanye would have been from entry to now?
Yeah.
That's
fame changes you a little bit, like that money.
I don't want that shit then.
That's
what it's going to do.
Situations. Like, you haven't been in that position, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, you go from not having something to now you have everything and you're still not satisfied. And it's like,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, at this point, then it got to be a self journey, because if you have access to all the material, then and you're still not happy, bro, then it has to be you.
It's the love of money. You know what sells. You know you gonna say this on a record and do the most outlandish things, and it's gonna grab attention. And so we live in a clout era.
I can't see myself doing that. That's probably why I do the type of content I do now, because I can't clout chase. Like,
Yeah.
it just feels very abnormal to me, and I don't feel like I'll be able to compromise myself for $1. Because at the end of the day, I know, like,
That's real.
I've been through some real shit. Like, I come from the hood. Like, this is like,
Yeah.
the dollar means something to me, but I came from nothing. So it's not an infatuation to, like,
Yeah.
you can't scare me with going back to something I already made my way out of. If anything, I get worried with the opportunity of, like, wait, what you want from me for real? Like, I don't believe, like, I always think, like, if it's too good to be true, look at it again. And even if you think it's not too good to be true, still look at that shit again, because I experienced enough to know, like, bro, you just gotta pay attention.
It's a catch.
Yes, most times there's a catch to it. And then half the time, like, what made me start paying attention to it, because I wasn't looking at myself in the light in which I am now, like the starlight, I guess you would say. Like, me having the studio to interview the podcast, to me, this is just standard work. Like, I'm just working my dreams. But then I keep encountering people who, like, talk to me, like, in a different way.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, can you talk to me like a normal person? I'm not no big dog. I'm not no, like, yeah, I'm so confident, but we is all on the same playing field. And I really hate to be talked, I don't want to say up, but, like, I just want to be treated like a normal ass person. So whenever people come across, like, because they feel like I have aspired to do certain things or acquire a certain amount, and if they want to be next to it, I just always fall back.
Yeah.
I got anxiety, and that once my shit I start sweating, I be like, oh, this is bad. Like, I gotta start thinking.
Something irritating them, you know.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's in there, and that's what whenever I get that feeling, I really be, like, in tune to it. So.
But you gotta know you doing, you know, you big T, like you are doing
it's all
something.
in the Lord's work. Like,
I feel you on that.
I can't take credit for nothing that's given to me, because I all know that it's all been from me being dedicated to Him, in a sense. Like, I'm not perfect in no way, shape, or form, but I do know and trust and believe that I have a pure soul, a pure heart, and a lot of things I do isn't necessarily to gain anything from it. Like, I'm really just a helping hand. Like, and
I love
when
that.
I start feeling like shit's compromising my relationship with Him, that's when I really be like, all right, self-check, because at the end of the day, when we die, I believe I got to answer for a lot of stuff, and I ain't going to keep trying to add to the list. I know I fucked up before, probably in a couple areas.
And you behind the camera. Imagine being in front of the camera and putting these words out, and it's like, okay, so you was telling people to do this, and you said this and that, and somebody was looking at you and looking up to you, and then they did these things. I might have to hold you accountable for that.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's why I be so worried. Like,
I ain't a pastor.
People, that's another thing that's, like, good about your music, to tie back into that, is like you said earlier, you are a normal person, but you're so many things. Like, you're a nerd, you're a tech guy, you're a video game guy, you're an artist, you're a man of the Lord. Like, how do you all put that into music without feeling like you're compromising one or the other? And I feel like your music is a perfect representation of that, because you're not trying hard to just stay in one niche. You're like, bro, this is me in full form.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you feel? Like, or even not how you feel, like, literally, this is what I'm presenting to you.
I'm super well-rounded, and it's like, this became a outlet for me. Like, music started, now going back to that question, now it's like going back, really remembering. So, like, a lot happened. Like, you know, my father had left the house, you know, when I was like 17 years old. And it's like, he felt like I was ready to be a man, but he had other responsibilities. He had, you know, another family situation going on, and it's like, it's a, you know, it's a little touchy, but it's like, it touched me and it changed me, and it's like, I needed an outlet. I needed to speak on some things. Like, once you carrying a lot and you going through things, you got to be able to speak on it. And I found a voice in this, and that's what music became. It's like my voice, I guess it became message. Like, because I transitioned. I used to be Young Rizzy, you know. That's when I was in the streets and whatnot, Young Rizzy. But then I became message, and I always said I had a message in my music. But yeah, being this outlet and just being me, like you said, it's like people want you to dim your light, but this is just who I am. Like, I'm very well-rounded. And you don't realize it because it's normal to you. When you're around people who, you know, listening to all this different type of music or all these different personalities, they bring in, they showing you things. Like, I have people who, you know, love video games more, but then there's people who, we all share a love of music from different, all kind of different aspects, like layers and different genres and different time periods, you know what I mean? But just being like into business, being into the medical field, being in all these things and having these conversations, it just starts, it's your normal reality. So I feel like it has been kind of hard to balance it because I can't just like, I don't know. I didn't grow up going to parties and all these different things like that. For like we partied. I party with my family. Like
we had enough
I love
people
my
partying
family.
together,
I don't, I don't be outside. You know what I mean, with all these different strangers and whatnot. Why I want that? I like building up the infrastructure from the inside. You know, but so it's like to be sitting there and just making party songs and making senseless like music. Not when I'm a very
And never in her line
educated
too.
person.
Yeah.
I like thought-provoking conversations. I don't even like small talk.
Yeah.
So for me to make something that sounds like small talk,
Don't even fit you.
but you gotta play the game to change the game. That's what J. Cole says. So
Yeah, but I never feel like J. Cole ever really released something that was just straight dumbed down though. Like at least I never heard it, but like even
Grippy?
in all his songs.
what about Grippy? He just put that out.
Oh, I gotta go
In
listen to it.
2024.
I ain't listened to it.
I don't even know what that was about. That Grippy song.
All right, shit, fuck Cole. I was out here about to vouch for you, nigga. You out here doing gimmicky shit.
I think he was having fun.
Probably. I mean, he older now, but let's talk about before the fame Cole. Like he ain't never really just dropped some shit that's like, bro, he's always been a spitter. So
Yeah, he had ashtray music though. Like Can't Get Enough. I think Can't Get Enough was for the girls, the ladies. You know.
Well, even Workout, that was
Workout.
But that's more so like in his artistry pocket, because even though he wasn't really spitting bar heavy, he still was saying shit that was like, all right, let me see you get high and go low.
He having fun, yeah. He making
Down
party
to the
tracks.
flow. Yeah, like it's like that's a song where it's like you might not be necessarily talking about nothing too crazy, but you're still painting a picture of it. Like Workout, there's a concept of it. So it's like it's levels to it in the artistry, and I definitely feel like again you just fit in that pocket perfectly.
Definitely no sellout though. Cole ain't no sellout.
Oh nah.
Hell
Still
no.
mad a little bit about the beef thing, but at least give us a quality diss track before you go and say you ain't going to beef with a nigga no more. Nigga, what the fuck? You dropped the diss track. Don't try to take it back now. Like, nah.
But you want to see two of the most positive, like, you know, thought-provoking artists who are out here speaking on, you know, who conscious artists speaking on the black community and speaking on our struggles and being a symbol of light to go into something dark.
It don't have to necessarily be a down talking of it. It could be like we supposed to be brothers. Like we supposed to be out here. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be flipped in so many different ways. I don't necessarily expect rap battle to always be straight disrespectful dissing. Like you could be coming at the nigga's artistry, shit like that. Like you ain't gotta talk about his moms and like kids and shit. Like because as rappers, y'all all gotta feel like I'm the best. Cole, you said you the best. Like all right, this nigga got a pen, you got a pen. Use it and let the people say who's the best. Like. You don't gotta go crazy wild to be in a diss battle. Like I think people are accustomed to like rap battle and being like straight. Either you dying or I'm talking greasy about it.
Yeah.
Bro, no.
Violating.
Yeah, like the people about rap battled all the time before shit went mainstream. Like, and they might have said something like, oh, but it was never really like no like Drake and like you're a pedophile and shit like that. Nah. And that's crazy. Like, all right, bro.
Nah. I ain't gonna lie. You got rap battles is crazy.
No, not the Smack DVD tape. I'm talking about like when rap first started and shit.
Okay,
like, it wasn't always meant to be like a harsh ass thing. Like
talking like piss on your graves and all that.
Like, that was crazy. Like
they be doing the most, man.
But before we get into the music a little more, let's talk about fatherhood, because I know that's a big thing for you and a key part of what makes you who you are. So, what age did you become a father?
I became a father at 22.
Okay, so kind of late, but still young.
Yeah.
And,
is that late?
Well, you know, some people have kids in their teens. I feel like it's not as prevalent no more, but some people became fathers like 16, 15. Like I know some people who's been fathers for, like their kids is like 10 now, and we just now turning 30 type shit, or like 15, like when we was in high school type shit. I know people who was parents.
I would die. Oh man.
That's why I said I don't know how they doing it, but they did it.
I grew up raising kids. I don't want to be raising no kid at no 17.
Honey, they did it.
22. Yeah, he's born 6 days after me.
Damn. Okay, so
after my birthday, like.
And it's a boy. So how did that feel like when you found out she was gonna be a father? Like.
It was a weird feeling. I ain't gonna lie, like, cause I didn't find out like the normal way. Like that's why this project it all ties into the music for real. Like being a father and everything. It was a weird experience because I wasn't sure if I was the father of the child. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I had to deal with that, the not knowing and the possibilities. It's like me and this person just split up. And like I just want to move forward with my life.
But now I gotta
And now I gotta worry
possibly
about, dang, because I want that family unit. I didn't want to never not have a family unit. I wanted to raise my son like right, you know what I mean? So it was tough for real, accepting that, like, cause I cried for real. I had to go and get DNA tests. You know what I mean?
that's real shit. Like,
I came here to get DNA tests during COVID.
damn. So, damn. Yeah.
I flew out here during COVID because I felt like I couldn't move forward with my life, and people were telling me just
when
in Orlando.
Oh, so you were in Florida at this time, like?
Yeah, me and her was in Florida. We split up.
Okay.
You know, she came back here to her parents and whatnot.
And you stayed in Florida
because we was like high school sweethearts for real. And it's like I stayed in Florida. Cause I thought, everything all kosher is good. Like, it's a clean split. We good. Like, you did what you did. I did what I did. It's cool. Like,
we out.
But then I got that call, you know what I mean? Like a couple months later, and it's like, oh,
fuck.
You know what I mean? I'm out here grinding. I'm doing my thing. And first thing I'm thinking, I'm like, nah, that's not my baby. Like, that can't be my baby.
We
like,
even together.
And we exactly like, and we know what went on in this situation. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I got a DNA test and stuff during COVID. I came back out here when he was 6 months.
Okay.
So like I wasn't even told when he was born. Like it was a crazy
first couple months of his life. Like
it was a bad situation. I missed a whole year of his life.
Damn.
The whole first year of his life I missed. You know, so I came out here. I only seen him for 2 days. He was 6 months, and that was to get the DNA test and whatnot the first day, and then 3 days I guess to get the DNA test. I seen him one more day, and then I seen him another day, and then it was like it was done. It was over with. I found out he was mine when I got the DNA test back, and then I was like, dang, like I'm gonna be there before he's a year old. But I got an opportunity to move back out here, and I moved back out here when he was like 7 months, I believe. And then I ain't see him for the next 6 months. So after them 2 days, like it was like, damn. So I was stuck back out here. I'm like, damn, what I moved out here for? It's COVID.
You called me and shit. I came back.
I came back out here.
Now I even got the kid.
So it was tough, you know what I mean? I had to go and move. I had to go do my thing and go to the courts and
which is another testament to your character, because most times a man to even pick up and move back probably wouldn't have happened so quickly, and then two, what you get back and you realize this shit's not even what it's supposed to be. I'm fucking going back.
Yeah.
No, he's like, nah, I'm gonna go to court. Like instead of just being like, I'm gonna get my rights exercised. So how was that like? Was it a difficult process, like for the people who might be in that type of situation and think like they can't exercise their rights in that regard?
It was a difficult process. They told me because I wasn't inside my child's life for the first year, like I didn't know that I was only going to get like weekends or like every other weekend or something like that, and I wasn't okay with that. I'm like, I'm about to go spend, on a lawyer just to get weekends. That's crazy.
Yeah, like what?
So, but I would say if you are married in a situation, and to not get too deep into that, but if you're married in a situation, then you automatically have 50% custody through the marriage.
Okay, I never.
For people that don't know that, so if you have a child, y'all split up, whatever, a man is already awarded 50% custody, no matter what, as long as he can, prove the paternity.
That's his kid.
That's his kid.
Okay.
Yeah, but because of the separation, like the time, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, like, oh, you can only do weekends because they don't want to separate the child from the mother. They want the child needs the mother, especially if they're breastfeeding and whatever and all that, they're the nurturer, the father is there to assist, but
in that time frame, but the baby's like, okay.
The first year of the baby's life, they're going to be less willing to give you like more time and stuff like that. So I actually had to kind of like keep like pushing the issue, you know what I mean? Keep pushing the issue and compromise myself. I moved my baby mom back inside of my house and whatnot after, a long time of like being persistent and whatnot and trying to get in contact with her to be able to do something. And like, okay, let's give this thing another chance. Yeah. Just to be able to be in my son's life. And it's like, okay, if this don't work out, we're going to do like a little 6-month trial. If this don't work out, then I'm going to sign these papers that, you presented to me, and then I'm going to get my 50% custody. And so that's what happened.
Oh, damn. Well, at least she honored the agreement in the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was thinking you were going to say it. Then we broke up and I had to take her to court. Like,
I mean, I still had to go back to court because I got 90% now.
Damn. All right. So then, what happened that it had to elevate to 90 from the 50? Because that's a lot, especially as a man. Like your dad had custody, but like you said, it's not often they want to separate the child from the mom, especially when that was like the primary parent. So.
Well, I don't want to make it a bad session. You know what I mean? Like,
you don't have to.
I've been here living in my truth though. Like lately, I've been being more free. Like especially dropping this project. Like that's another reason why this project didn't come out for so long, because it's like, not sure where things would go, and then it's like I'm trying to figure this situation out and figure fatherhood out and everything. But it elevated because of not having consistency. My son needed consistency. You know what I mean? And he wasn't having a consistency. There's different things going on in different households, and it's impacting him
so it just
in a negative way. And so like I had to go and push that issue, and then there was like other domestic situations like involved that put him in a dangerous situation that I had to step up, and be there like, okay, you know what I mean?
And do you see like maybe the similarities in your father to your life, and then how your life also transitioned to your son's?
Yeah, for sure. Because my dad, he had to get custody of his first 2 kids. Like he was married previously, and he had some issues with like his wife. She was like involved in like some drugs and stuff like that, and he had to go and get custody of his kids because of that. And so that set the standard before all the other kids. You know what I mean? He's gonna go. He's gonna get custody of his kids. He's gonna make sure that his kids is right. And so seeing him do that and tell me these stories. Oh, that shit's calling now. Speaking of the devil.
I hear you talking about me.
Yeah, seeing him go get custody of his kids, it showed me like how important that is, and raising a child in the right way, and just the things that I went through. I know that it's like I got to give him the best chance of like success in this world, in this life, and already getting kicked out of like daycares and preschools for bad behavior, it wasn't it,
And how have you seen the change in him since like gaining that full 90% custody?
Dramatically. Like, he hasn't got kicked out of school, He hasn't been in the school this long. He's in full-time school now. Okay. Like, any other time he was in full-time school, it was with both of us. Okay. And it was like there was issues. Now I got him in one school. And it's like, we on the same page when they tell me when he's struggling with something or whatever. It wasn't easy at first because, obviously, it's a hard transition from seeing both parents, consistently on and off 50%, to then only seeing somebody like every other weekend. You know what I mean? Like that's tough. Yeah. So he took that. He was acting out, but it was like they understood the situation. They was working with me with it. But he's doing great. Academically, he's doing great. You know what I mean? Behavior-wise, he's doing great. And we just gonna keep shooting for the stars. Like,
yes, sir.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about being a father?
My favorite thing about being a father is being able to create memories with my son. Like, just the bond we share, building that bond, and being able to instill in him and see him, be like happy or like touched by, like inspired by things that I'm doing. Like he's my biggest fan. I always say he's my biggest fan for, he know all my songs, he be singing all my songs and whatnot. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm like, I gotta watch what I say a little bit sometimes, so around there.
That one, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, but just seeing him sing my songs and stuff, and his passion, and then seeing like the similarities, like the traits that you pass down to your kid, and it's like, dang, like how are you gifted in that? Like,
like you really is my son.
Yeah, even the attitudes and stuff sometimes too, but the smartness, all that too. Like, I love seeing that.
That's definitely a blessing, and I'm just happy to hear that he's thriving and going to continue to go up from here. He got a good father in his life, and with God on his side, anything is possible. So
that's a fact. That's a fact.
Happy for that. Let's speak about your creative process a little bit. You've been speaking on it a little bit throughout the interview, but is every song written? Are you a freestyler? Like, paint the picture for like how you create.
I'm a writer.
Okay.
People doing this punching and all that. Like, I'm a writer. I like to like really sit down, gather my thoughts, and start writing. I just get on there and start writing, like I say in my one track. But I think out things, and I feel like the only way I can really like articulate my thoughts the way I want to because there's so much going on in my mind. And like I lock in on a concept. And when I lock in on a concept, like I want to stay on that concept. I deviate a little bit, but like,
For the most part,
my
that's
name is message. You know what I mean?
So
I
you
gotta
stick to
deliver
the
a message.
message.
So yeah, I write out my stuff, but like sometimes when I'm writing, I don't write in order. That's something that like everybody don't know. I don't write in order. So I might write like a verse, a part of a verse, like half of a verse or something like that, and I have the insight to be like, nah, that belongs there, and we gonna build up to this bar. So I got this crazy bar, and then it's like, nah, I'm gonna put in between bars to get to that spot, or I'll write a hook. Like the hook is mostly leading the track, but I don't put the hook in the beginning. I'm gonna put the hook after, because I started noticing that like songwriting. The better structure is like verse, hook, not hook, verse, hook. You know what I mean? Every song can't have hook, verse, verse, you know, having three hooks.
Gotta come to something.
Yeah, so it's like you don't want to just jump into the hook right away. You'll know when songs need that, and then it's better for songs to start out with the verse first and then come to the hook.
One of my most annoying things about a song is if they like repeat the same line like 4 times and like that's the hook. Bro, like, why did you say that same thing 4 times?
Yeah.
Like, you could have said that twice and then start rapping again or something. Like, oh my goodness.
Break
bro.
it up.
Yo, something like that really is like one of my biggest pet peeves with listening to music. If you start doing that in one of your songs, like I'm liable to just change that because now I don't want to hear what you're about to say after that. So I'm glad you do that.
And I like to switch my flow up. Like if you hear through all my tracks, I have different flows. No 2 songs sound the same.
I was gonna say, and you some singing on some, rapping on some. Are you listening to the beat as you're doing this, or like is this sometime like you just gotta write it because this is the words that's coming to your head, and you'll find a beat to match that at a later date?
It's crazy you say that, because I always say like I rap on the beat like it's tailor made for me. Like my musicality, like I'll hear all the little undertones, the pockets and everything. And as I listen to the music, like I pause the beat, I'ma write, and then I'ma come back, put the beat on, see how it sounds on the beat, and then continue. But then there's sometimes where I already understand the beat, and I kind of my brain already understands like, okay, there's supposed to be a break here, so I'ma write like 8 bars, and then the break be there. It's crazy. So it's like, and then I switch up the flow. So like, I don't know. I've been doing this so long that it's like it's just second nature at this point for real.
I like to hear this because it's definitely like so many different creatives that I've come across, and most people tend to prefer their punch in, and some people write, but it's like you said, there's such a method to being able to write, and especially when you're going out searching for beats, to be able to like make the beat seem like it was made specifically for you.
Yeah.
The skill within itself. So.
But when I hop on a beat, I do like kind of with Tory Lanez. I seen the Tory Lanez did an interview where he said like he just be doing like sounds, like he be freestyling on the beat or like doing sounds, and then it's like he fill the words in later. And I've been doing that, so I'm like, oh yeah, I'm on to something.
I'm on to something. Because Tory Lanez, that's another creative person who, when he first came on the scene, I had him in the one pocket of like, oh, he's just like a kind of R&B dude, like make little R&B hits. And then when I started diving in and he actually was like rapping and stuff, I'm like, oh, this dude's different. Like, I ain't gonna say free him because he did what he did, but
from like staccato to where to
keep dropping good music.
Why Don't You Love Me, all that.
Bro, I was like, it would be stuff like that. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, you really different.
Chicks Tape, like he surprised me for real. Tory, he's definitely in all lanes.
That's probably one of the people who I would say fumbled their bag. Probably fumbled one of the biggest bags in the last couple of years based off of how he moved after. Because if you think back to when we was in the pandemic, Tory Lanez had skyrocketed to another level of stardom with his streams and everything going up. And he had just got out of his contract with Atlantic, so he was technically independent. So everything he was dropping from there on, he would have owned his rights to.
During COVID?
Yeah, because right before COVID happened, I'm almost certain this because I was watching interviews on
like quarantine radio and all that.
Quarantine radio, and he was winning up on that. He was just got independent, so he was like, your star power just increased, and you're not signed to a label no more, nigga. All this music you're about to release can be under the one umbrella, your record label, and you're about to profit from all that, bro. You was about to be the next biggest thing, like, and then you crashed the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Nigga. And then it's like, if you didn't shoot her, nigga, get on the stand and say that you got so much shit to lose versus some reputation, bro. I don't give a fuck. who gonna call me?
But then the question gonna be like, who did shoot her though? So it's
Kelsey.
like,
I'm telling her who did that shit. Fuck it, this bitch is lying on me. She did it if that's what really happened.
yeah.
But it didn't all make no sense. The driver who was in the car, nobody could find him until after the trial. Kelsey saying she ain't do it. You ain't getting on the stand saying that you didn't do it, that you did do it. All y'all keep saying is your DNA on the gun. Nigga, that's not good enough. Somebody shot this girl.
That's some industry stuff, I think, you know, it's crazy, you know, timing. You look at it, like you said, like he was getting ready to go all the way up, and then this happens, like, maybe the powers that be, you know, on another
shit. I mean,
on another note.
Because he did say they framing him and shit. So who knows what's happening? Well, all I'm saying is,
they released a video.
I just remember the video of like when the cops came on scene and she's all hobbling and she's bleeding and shit on the side of the road.
Stepped on like some glass or whatever.
That's what she said. All I know is that was just dumb. That's why you shouldn't be drinking alcohol all crazy. You need to be mindful of the surroundings you're in, because I bet you that night that y'all didn't think niggas was finna end like that.
Nah, hell
y'all was partying, having a good time.
Yeah.
You know? That one incident changed the rest of y'all whole fucking life.
Maybe he was on something else, you know, like, I don't know. I pray, you know, that didn't happen, you know, protect black women. But it's like,
something happened.
Why you gotta pull a strap on somebody? Like, you know, I ain't condoning no type of domestic violence, but like
she's too big for me.
It's gonna be a hand before it's gonna be a strap. You know what I mean? At the bare minimum, like if it gotta come down to that,
he ain't went that smooth.
That's crazy to me. Like if that really happened, then
that's one thing. It's like that's gonna be a documentary that released in like another 20 years or whatever. When they, like how they did to Chris Brown and Rihanna.
Free Tory though.
Hey, I'm gonna say do your time if you do the crime. But no, so let's take it to the most recent release project. Well, before I touch on that, let's paint the picture for my viewers. So you've been dropping music officially on streaming platforms from what I can tell, like Apple Music and shit, since 2017. Mm-hmm. The first you have 3 albums. The first one was A Long Time No See. That one has 7 songs. Then you dropped again a couple years later in 2021 with Jordan and Pippen.
Yeah.
That had 10 songs. And then that brings us to date currently with Pay the Price, which is 9 songs and just came out on April 1st.
Yeah.
But backstory, this project you said is 6 years old.
Yeah.
So how did it get delayed so long? Or why did you delay it so long?
Why did I delay it so long? So it was like, I understand. I feel like nobody want to create nothing that's not heard. You know? And I didn't feel like it was the time to like put it out. Like it did feel like the time at that time, but it was like I was trying to build up to it. I had a whole rollout, everything that I wanted to do with it. I felt like it needed to be done properly. Like when you have a vision for yourself, you want to do things in excellence. Like, and I operate in excellence. So I couldn't just half-heartedly do something, and it wasn't finished, but it was like I dropped the original artwork on 9/9/19. I was channeling 999 energy, you know, closing out chapters, you know, and new opportunities. And that was the date that my son was born. So that was the original date. So 4/1 is actually the date I found out that he's actually mine.
Damn.
4/1/2020 is the date I found out he was actually mine. So that's why I dropped it on 4/1. Because the original artwork came out on 9/9/19, but now the project's dropping on 4/1. It comes full circle. Damn. And it's like I needed to, life happened, you know what I mean? I found out that he was mine. It was like I had to move. I moved from Florida to Pennsylvania, and then I came out here and I had to, everything that I had structured out there, I had to rebuild out here. Mm-hmm. You know, fan base, you know, finding studios, finding the support, like getting that ball rolling, everything. And I wasn't sure. I took a break. I took a whole break, like in 2020 for UNC. I dropped nothing. Mm-hmm. Like mentally, I needed a break. So from that point on, now I'm always on new ideas. Mm-hmm. Like Jordan and Pippen came together. Me and my brother, I turned 23. He was 33. It was like the idea came, Jordan and Pippen, you know, and it was my introduction to let people know where I came from. Like I had a background, you know, in the streets. We talking about being in the streets, but like winning, manifesting, getting past that. It's like it's bigger. It's about, you know, Jordan, he couldn't do it alone. He had Pippen, you know what I mean? So it's like you can't always win alone. You gonna need somebody. Like we have this culture where we just say, oh, I did it all myself. It's like, no, you didn't do it all yourself. You had help. Let's acknowledge that you had help.
Somebody recorded that track for you for sure. You
exactly.
got that beat from somebody.
Exactly. But nah, I got the concept. I had the concept. I sat on it. just, keeping the family, like trying to keep that family unit, like, together in that dynamic and keep the peace and everything. And, knowing that if I live in my truth, it's going to hurt somebody else. But it's like I had to understand that, like, my truth is more powerful. Like, I gotta live in my truth, and I gotta put something out. I can't worry about everybody else's feelings. But I had to have things situated and make sure, like, my son is older now. He's not 1, he's not 2. You know what I mean? Time passed. And then, like I said, all the other ideas and stuff like that. So now being able to put it out, it comes full circle, and me actually having the time to be able to finally deal with those things that originally, like, birthed those ideas. I never got to fully deal with that situation because of the child. So the project was created before, like, you listen to Hard Knocks. I said, I'm 21, a savage. I'm getting to a bag. Yeah, I don't even have kids. I still want me a bad bitch. I know looks on everything, but I learned that from my last. Like,
That's dated for sure.
yeah. I was 21,
yeah.
and I felt like, now I can move on with my life. But then the child obviously is the hiccup, and so I had to get that whole situation situated before I could put this music out. So, Pay the Price is about, the Bible talks about counting the costs. Like, we supposed to count the costs, and I feel like I ain't fully count the costs in things in life, like, jumping into, like, a marriage, you know what I mean? And then jumping into just, like, being an adult, you know what I mean? And chasing a dream and, like, greatness and becoming a Christian and walking this walk. And it's like, you got to know what you're getting into. So I paid a price from the sacrifice that I made of choosing to follow this path that God set for me. You pay a price for the decisions that you choose to make in life if you make the wrong ones. But it's like, ultimately, God already paid that ultimate price, on the cross for me. So everything is covered. And so that's what the concept of Pay the Price is about. And I wanted to make sure that was done properly. And then I also looked into the future, and I said I couldn't write the ending without, like, getting to that resolution. I needed to heal a little bit. I needed to process things. Like, I wasn't ready. I wasn't in the space. I didn't want to just write it from, like, such a hurt place. It's supposed to be like a resolution. So I needed time, So 6 years later, I wrote those last 2 tracks at 27.
And that's also must speak to the confidence you feel in your music and that it's timeless, because 6 years removed, it's like a whole different sound, a whole different pocket of music you probably was in.
Yeah.
You still feel confident and put that music out. It's like, says a lot, because I know you said you put the last 2 tracks on there, but, like, 6 years is a good grip to keep some music in the tuck and be like, nah, I still can put this project out. So speak to, like, why you felt so confident it still would fit into today's music scene opposed to, like, when you originally was creating it.
Because I don't ride waves. You know what I mean? I create my own waves. And I know that the music that I speak on, like, I'm not just, bars is going to be around forever. I say that, when you can put words together and I do double and triple entendres, everybody can't do that shit. So bars is going to be around forever. I feel like my music is a breath of fresh air no matter what I put out. And it's like the message behind the music, like, is very thought-provoking. It's like, learning to heal and embrace that pain and go through it, but come out something better, or, like, on the other side of it. So I never felt like my music is dated. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I said, with the bars, with the melodies that I'm coming out, like, I don't sound like nobody. I feel like that. Like, I'm not trying to ride nobody else's wave. Like, people compare me to Drake just on, I guess they say, like, you could be a chameleon and whatnot. Because I can do all different kind of things. But I don't hop on somebody's wave and try to steal it. And not saying he does that, but, like, I don't hop on nobody's wave and try to steal it.
Yeah.
I get inspired by everything. And so, like, when I make something, I just know that it's fire for real. You know what I mean? It's fire, and it's like, you can't say, oh, well, he sound like this person, he sound like that person, like, this track has already been done, whatever. It's like, nah, the world is going to hear this. It's going to make a wave. It's going to make an impact, and y'all going to be wanting to know who Message is, and you're going to see it's only one.
And that's, like, again, another testament to the artistry, because that was what I was kind of getting at, is why the music probably still fits into today's pocket is because you aren't following today's sound. Like, you really stay true to, like, whatever you're feeling creatively.
Yeah.
So that's definitely just another star on your bracket, because that's hard to do. Some people might not be able to release a song they did 6 years ago or think that shit is even good no more. So I definitely commend that.
Appreciate you.
What's your goals for this project?
My goals for this project? My goals for this project is like I want people to be real with themselves. You know what I mean? If you ever been through something, it's like let's let the macho persona down. You know what I mean? Let's tackle things that we dealing with and be able to hear these things and be like, damn, like I relate to this and I'm confident enough to say that I relate to this and it can help me. Cause it's like I wish there was a soundtrack to what I was going through. You know what I mean? There was no soundtrack to what I was going through where I could be like, let me turn this on and somebody exactly in my generation like can relate. Exactly. And so it's like I want people to be able to take away, just take away from this that they can make it on the other side. You know what I mean? It's not, you're not gonna be consumed by that pain. And I wanted to do some numbers, obviously, like, you know what I mean? I want this project to be the introduction to more people find out about me as I push myself. Cause like the other projects, I didn't really like, I put out great projects, like little mini projects and things like that. But I didn't really like understand marketing and how to market myself to be able to push them because like I do so many different sounds and I'm still releasing different sounds that it's like I didn't know.
I'm not just one thing, so where do I push it at?
Yeah, exactly. But now I understand that. I've done the research. We coming for you. Like
no, real shit, because I think that's where a lot of artists probably do themselves a disservice is they create a quality product, but then next part of putting it out there, gaining momentum and understanding it might be like a process to keep pushing that on people, but that's how you get known. That's how you get seen, putting yourself in the right pockets, right places, and ultimately just having that persistence because nothing ever happens overnight.
Mm-hmm. I also want them to know that, you know, God is the one who carried me through all this, you know, so just know that you can get through anything with God, like no matter what it look like.
Do you have a favorite track from this project?
I go back and forth. So like, I feel like What Y'all Want is like starting to become my favorite song because it's real personal. You know what I mean? It's like, there's a contemplation between like wanting to make that most negative choice, but knowing that you have a purpose and rising above that. But then like Piling Up it holds a special place in my heart. You know, because that was my first track that I actually tried to like make something mainstream. Like I was at work. I'd be writing at work. You know, when I was in the construction, I'd be writing at work. And I was writing this song at work. And I was listening to like some Juice WRLD at the time too. And it was like, I was just inspired. I hopped on that. And it was just speaking to like, okay, everything piling up on your plate, but like, I look at my problems and I size them up and I knock them joints out. Like, so, and it's like a spacey like feel. And then it's like, it sounds radio ready. So like, that's why I really like Piling Up. I feel like it's like a radio track.
It depends on what you want it for. Like if you want to go mainstream, I got this one for you. If you want to go how you feeling, we're going to go this way. Which typically for most of the interviews, that's what happens with the artists. Is like they can't necessarily pick a favorite track because like you said, your music fits like a mood or a pocket for like, I'm kind of sad today. Let me go play this joint. I'm ready to turn up. Let me put this shit on. Like, so that's.
But Recipe too, like.
Yeah.
The Recipe.
It's 9 songs on there, so.
Yeah, I love all the tracks on there. You know, I wouldn't put out nothing that I don't like or that I don't love.
Of course.
But I feel like I had to choose a track from every side though, because it's like. Pay the price if you want me to get into that. Like the concept is actually 3 projects. You see, I've been putting out these mini projects. I put out Release. I put out All Said Is Done. And then it's like Pay the Price was kind of the original concept behind me putting out these 3 little mini projects.
Okay.
Cause like Pay the Price is 3 words in Pay the Price. And then it's like there's 3 different sounds if you listen to the project. Like the first 3 are really like kind of gritty, like more of that northern sound. I wanted that. And then it's like, as you go deeper into the heart, it's real deep. So it's like there's 3 different, the first 3 songs all go together. The 3 ones in the middle, they're all like in capitals because they're all hits. Like I feel like they're all like hit worthy. Like, you know, those tracks that's going to go high energy. And then it's like the last 3 is like the most like vulnerable. For real. So as you go deeper into the heart, you're getting deeper to the heart of things and the vulnerability and whatnot. But at first, when you get to somebody's heart, they try to protect their heart. So it's like all rough You know what I mean?
That first barrier.
Yeah, that barrier, you hitting that barrier, and then all the action and commotion is in the middle of the heart. That's the battle.
Then you get through.
And then you get through, and then you see the light. And so as you get to the end, you find that's why if you look at, there's light inside the heart, because it's like, when you search deep within yourself, is God inside of you or is darkness inside of you? You know what I mean? And I chose
light.
I chose light because I could have crashed out.
Yeah. I'm glad you explained that meeting, because obviously your name is Message for a reason, but sometimes people might not even be able to think in the brackets of what you are. Like, they might have took the projects in, but it wasn't until they heard you say, they're like, holy shit, I see the similarities or how the flow goes. So I think that's probably going to be the biggest benefit for you in the style of music you make, is sometimes explaining it to the ones who might not be on that level just yet.
Yeah, they gotta catch up.
Like, I like the music, but I didn't even know I was missing the message this whole time. Like, nigga, my name's
It's a message within a message within a message within a message. Double, triple entendres. Like,
you gotta see it.
It's just the way my brain works. I don't know. Like, I'm a Virgo, and it's like, that's just the way my brain works. Like, I'm great at making connections. You know what I mean? And that's how I see things in my mind. It's like roadmaps and spider webs, and it's like, and it's like,
comes back to the greatness. So what can we expect for you now that, like you said, you come to a resolution, you're able to start putting the projects out, you created your network and PA. What are we should look for message to bring to us now? We're gonna have some merch, more projects after this one, like music videos. Just tell the people what we should be looking for.
Definitely. We got the merch now. You see, I got the Facts Over Feelings. This is my merch. You can find it on messageapparel.net. It's about, the power of words and having that and taking that away like as a mantra to be able to like empower you. And it's like you're a walking billboard basically. And when you look at it, it's like, and people see it, they understand that it's something that you're reflecting and you're like really meditating on for real, because, words is powerful. I had some music videos definitely for the project. Got to get some music videos out. It's choosing. I got ideas for a lot of these songs, so choosing which one I really want to bring to the surface. Expect a video for Fed Up though, for sure.
I feel like Pilot, we're gonna have to need a video for that one too.
I definitely need a video for Piling Up too, and then more music videos, more tracks. I ain't done dropping. I'm gonna keep dropping on y'all. Like, I dropped a project, but listen, I'm sitting on a lot of material.
This is 6 years old. Imagine what I'm about to come with.
Exactly, and the summer is coming, and my pen is still sharp. It's like Drake said, I got new shit. I'm getting better.
No cap. No cap.
Real talk. So y'all gonna expect a lot from me, man. Expect me to turn it up, take it to a whole nother level. It's 2025. It's a long time coming. And it's time for the world to hear message. I feel like the world is going to hear me. I ain't a local artist. I'm international.
I feel that. I feel like we painted a great picture for the people, got to know you as a person, the things that really feed you in fatherhood, you as an artist. I feel like can't be put in one bracket. Like, you're really like a multi-versatile person, even though multi and versatile kind of the same thing, but
multifaceted.
Yeah, so you give me the word. Like, you the wordplay man. And
multidimensional. That's what I call myself.
I say, and that's what like probably was the most intriguing thing when I started doing my research. Was like, you started off in one pocket on one song, and then I clicked next one randomly. It's like, oh shit, it's the same artist. Like, oh, now he's singing to me. Oh, okay. And because I see a lot of your content on Instagram, so I'm used to getting your bars. Like, I know you can rap. Like, that's never been in a doubt. But when I started listening to people's like actual projects, their craftsmanship, and like the clarity of it, like, oh, it's like actual beat productions and everything. So I really, really, really appreciate you as an artist and how you approach it, and I look forward to seeing what this next run is going to be like now that you took the responsibility or took care of your responsibilities outside of music to allow you to focus and really invest in your craft, because like I said, people don't understand the sacrifice in order to gain in the end, and you'll be rewarded for your dedication and constant respect to the Lord for what he's done for you and help get you here. I feel like people do the cliche things of saying, oh, thank God, but like there's so many more ways, like just being a testimony to the things he's done for us speaks to, our commitment to him. So I'm really just gonna keep saying it, but I'm just really just pleased with you as a person.
Thank you.
And as an artist, because you have a perception of people. Like, you might think somebody is one way, and then you meet them, and it's like, oh, nah, that's not that dude at all. But every time I've come across you, your energy is the same, your message is the same.
Yeah.
And it just keeps building on, like, okay, no, this is really who he is. Because I don't never believe people until I see you in a couple of different areas. Like, nah, no, that's really message. Like, this nigga really him. Like,
Yeah.
I can support this.
Yeah.
Like,
Message and Ronald are like synonymous for like I don't look at that as like an alter ego or like, you know, another person that I get to play this role. It's like, no, that's just me putting my armor on and getting ready for battle. Like
that's just me.
that's it.
All right, so before we wrap up, I do want to play a game I like to get into with artists called I Said That. It's pretty much just me repeating back some lyrics from your songs that stood out to me when I went back and listened, and I want you to be able. I want to see if you'll be able to tell me which songs they're from.
Let's see. I got a lot.
All right, so song number one. Well, lyric number one. Let me make sure I got it right. Don't understand, no, I can't comprehend. Why do you do the things you do?
That's your methods.
Okay, all right.
I don't understand.
And that's the one I say. I was like, that's a singing one. So it's like, I'll try to say it like, maybe you don't know. Maybe you said it in the bar. Nah.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you going to sing it or are you going to rap it? Like, you got some.
Understand. Say. They just turned off the video.
Yeah.
But all right, so one so far. Number two. I've been walking my calling, took some time off, I'm stalling. I've been walking in my calling, took some time off, I'm stalling.
So I've been walking my calling, took some time off on stalling. Got that flash of like, oh yeah, no, it's dearly the fault. That's Risk, I believe. Yeah.
I was like, he said this song earlier.
Yeah.
He don't remember.
That's crazy because I was thinking about it and I was like, yo, what is that song? Like that's an old one,
Yeah,
man.
that's 2018.
That was the first shift for like shifting the sound. Yeah.
Yeah, because your methods was 2022 for the people who want to go back and find that. It's in his discography.
Hard to understand women, man.
That's okay. Number three, let's see. Surprised myself when I touched that food. No home cooked meals, had to eat.
That's a recent. You talking about freestyles too? That's a recent the one legit challenge. You know.
That was a curveball.
Yeah, touch that.
Nah, that bar was hard. I really like that freestyle. Hearing that freestyle made me go listen to G Herbo's project because I didn't know he dropped until like I seen you. First, I'm like, this beat's hard. This nigga spitting. This G Herbo's? Wait, I'm tripping. I went and listened to that. Oh, I was listening to that on the way
That's
here.
That's crazy. Shout out Herbo, man.
Real shit, because you definitely was talking on that one.
Yeah, he was snapping too. I been like, I love the growth sense. It's like, I've been listening to G Herbo for a long time, but like I love the growth since 25. Like when he turned 25, he put out the project 25. I feel like you could see a mentality shift in him. You know what I mean?
And a lot, like grown men talk now.
Yeah, exactly. OG.
All right, number 4. It's on the rocks. It took. Oh, hold on. Sorry. It's on the rocks. Took it with
Hard Knocks. I've only said on the rocks one time.
That was a bar for the people. I'm going to say it clearly for y'all.
Go ahead and say the bar because they don't know the bar.
He said, it's on the rocks, took it with a grain of salt. Double entendres.
Margaritas for my boys.
You don't even know.
Yeah.
The man got bars.
That salt around the border. Y'all like salt, y'all like sugar. Which one?
Sugar. When I went to Mexico, quick side story, I had salt around my rim for the first time and spit that shit out so fast. I was like, why the fuck is this a thing, bro? This is salty as hell. Like, I ain't think this through. Like, this is dumb.
Yeah, I like sugar too.
Shit. Okay, so you're 4 for 4. Let's see if you can go 5 for 5. Now, let's see. I meant just what I said. I vent what's in my head. I stress it. Makes no sense.
Say it again.
I meant just what I said. I vent what's in my head. I stress it. It makes no sense.
I vent what's in my head. I meant just what I said. Is that Distance?
Yep.
Distance, yeah. That's a long time no see, 2017.
Yeah, took it back. 5 for 5. All right, so you know your music and you might create a lot, but the bars is heavy and you still locked in. Anything you want to leave with the people? A final message before we close out?
What I want to leave with the people? Man, I just want to encourage everybody to just believe in yourself. You know, believe in yourself. Go after your dreams. Go after what you want in life, because life keeps moving. It don't stop for nothing. It don't stop for no one. And you only get one. And you can't let anybody dictate that for you, because this is your life. And at the end of at the end of your days, you gonna have to answer for what you did, and you either gonna be happy, you're satisfied, or you not. Message.
Real shit. And on that note, it's your girl Big T, Cloudy Conversations, our guide message. Be sure to go stream Pay the Price, out now on all streaming platforms. Cloudy Conversations, we out.
Yeah, and follow me.
Yep.
Tap in.